Well, we finally had some success cusk fishing, Sarge and I, after numerous attempts, but we got some safe ice for one night anyway. And we're going to make a cusk chowder, but first of all, as you can imagine, you have to process the cusk. And again, there's probably a couple ways to do it, but a good way is, first of all, give yourself some room. So essentially, take your fish, come up behind that back fin, and we bring it right down to the back. Then, you find the backbone. You find your backbone, and you go down the side of it, like this. Right down the side. Take your time because you gotta. It's hard. You don't want to jump over some meat. Once you go down to the rib cage, like this, that's broke free. Then you flip it around, and then right where the vent is, you go over the backbone, like so, right out through the vent, like that. Once you find that line, go right down the backbone, just like that.
It's pretty slick, man.
Yeah. And then what you do is now you got to go back up here and you got to find your backbone like that. And then you carve, just like doing a cod or a bunch of any other fish. Just carve it off those ribs, like so. And again, this isn't, you know, take your time because if you try to rush it, you know what's going to happen. You're going to waste meat. When you're done, there's also meat under that belly, so you don't want to prematurely cut that off. Once you get down past your ribs, cut it off. Now again, these are smaller fish, so you're not going to get huge fillets out of them. What you end up with, as you can see, nothing but bones, nothing but bones. And even though that looks like a fish, there's nothing there. There's a huge belly there.
Skin there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then, if you like cusk liver, there's an entree in some delicacy in some countries. You find your skin, just like you do any other fish. You go right down. Like that. And you got your skin. And there's your chunk of meat. And then for the chowder, now what you do is you just cut it up into little chunks, like so. You can wash it off first if you want, or after, whatever, but cut it up into little chunks like that. It's also a good way to see if you didn't miss any bones. Like that.
Now, how big would you say that fish is that you're doing up right now?
Pound-wise?
Pound-wise.
Maybe a pound.
Pound.
Yeah, it's not a...
Right, so yeah, they're pretty... I mean, they're nice looking fish, but definitely on the small side, especially compared to the picture you showed me. So maybe I could have you text me that, we'll add that to the video.
Yeah, that was about a 6-pounder. Oh,
huge,
yeah.
huge.
That was a big one.
How big do they typically get, you think? Average?
Well, they've caught, you know, around here, they've caught 10-pounders.
No kidding.
Yeah, back in what is it, 2004, 2005, off of Keewaydon and Point, we were catching 8-9-pounders.
Wow.
Like once a week.
Yeah.
And those seem to have gone away. But they tend to cycle, but yeah, they'll get that big. And I don't know how, I mean, that's around here. I don't know how big they get in other parts of the world or in the country. That's about all my personal experience. But as you can see, you just sneak right down that little backbone. that. Biggest thing, I know I sound repetitive, but take your time doing this. Because, you know, as I said, there's not a lot of meat there in the first place. And once you get to that, come right out to the vent. And if you're not careful, you can either go over the meat or you can cut through the backbone. So, just go slow and easy. And a sharp knife is key. This is the first cusk I've done all year, I think. Yeah, I know it is actually. we haven't got any. Now, a lot of people, I want to point out, you can make a good fish stock when these carcasses. After you get all your meat off it, you throw these carcasses in a stock pot, and you can make a pretty good stock. Yeah, if you're if you're a real connoisseur.
I'd probably rather tuck it in a set trap myself.
And catch a fisher or a muskrat or something.
Yeah. Anything martin if you have them.
Yeah.
We can't trap martin here in New Hampshire, but
No. Well, like I say, that's nothing but backbone there, and you can see that's all. You don't want to eat that.
yeah, right.
But there's that's all the meat on that fish.
Nice.
Unless you want to, I can see you through there, so there's not a lot of meat there.
Yeah, that's about as thin as me.
Yep. And we'll use that for. I freeze it and use it for crayfish.
Okay.
In the summertime, I'll freeze it up and I'll throw one of those in the crayfish trap.
Yep. Nice.
Really good. Yeah, they work really well. So nothing goes to waste per se.
Yeah, it all depends what you want to do. Like you said, you can make a stock out of it. There's,
Yep.
there's a multitude of things you can do with that.
And I don't know if you've ever made a fish stock, but
I never have, no.
it's an acquired. I mean, it reeks.
Yeah.
I mean, when you start cooking fish and you're inside your house, people aren't always happy about that.
Being of Portuguese descent and huge into fishing, I certainly remember the smelly house of fish,
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all there is to it. New Hampshire stew. Fish bait right there. It's cool too. See what these things are eating? Little bugs and stuff. All kinds of little critters. Some sort of like mealworm and not a mealworm, obviously, but Never know what you're going to pull out of the stomach of a cusk. First time I pulled a bell out, and I'm like, what?
That's bizarre.
I remember my grandfather telling me, he's like, oh yeah, put a little bell on your cusk line. He says, it'll bring them right in. Because what happens is when the shiner swims around, it shakes the bell.
The vibration of it.
Yeah, and it just draws their attention.
Yeah.
And it's still legal. Just no one does it. Yeah. You gotta make a chow.
There it is. Good deal, man.